Donald Trump was scheduled to testify today in his New York fraud trial, but backed out unexpectedly. Meanwhile, Republicans continue to shrug off Trump's comment that he'll be a dictator, but only on day one of his presidency. For more on this, it's time for a closer look. If you're a Republican sticking by Trump right now as he faces 4 criminal cases in a fraud trial, allow me to remind you of the ironclad rule of Trumpism. No matter how loyal you are to him, he will never be loyal to you. If you send Trump a holiday card, he won't send you one. He'll just send yours back in a week with this scribbled on it in Sharpie. I mean, just look at him. The people closest to him, Rudy Giuliani debased himself and torched his reputation just to become Trump's Igor, and now Trump won't even pay Rudy's legal bills. The most Trump was willing to do was host a $100,000 per person fundraiser for Rudy, and even that backfired when the only person who bought a plate was Rudy Giuliani. $100K for a plate of pasta, what a steal! In fact, Rudy was in court today as part of a lawsuit brought by Georgia election workers who were defamed by Rudy. Rudy has already been found liable. Now a jury will decide how much he has to pay. And if he has as much trouble with the trial itself as he had getting through security, Rudy's going to need as much money as he can get. An NBC reporter who witnessed the scene wrote that Giuliani arrived in the courtroom about 20 minutes after jury selection was slated to begin. His attorney blamed the delay on the security line to get in the courthouse. Giuliani finally got through security. His belt was still undone, hanging at his waist. Someone just told him he fixed it in the elevator. Oh, brother. If you're Rudy's lawyer and he shows up to court late with his belt hanging at his waist, is that the moment you realize you're I just can't imagine any jury is going to see Rudy Penguin walking into a courtroom with his pants around his ankle like George Costanza and say, you know what, let's hear him out. Although, in fairness to Rudy, he can only fix his belt if he's lying on a bed while filming a scene in the Sacha Baron Cohen movie. Excuse me, Your Honor, I need help with my belt. Is Borat here? I think he works for the tourism agency. Then there's Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who burst onto the national stage as one of Trump's most fervent supporters when he ran for governor in 2018. It's easy to forget now, but DeSantis was so pro-Trump, he released an ad where he teaches his kids about how great Trump is.
Everyone knows my husband, Ron DeSantis, is endorsed by President Trump, but he's also an amazing dad. Ron loves playing with the kids.
Build the wall.
He reads stories.
Then Mr. Trump said, "You're fired." I love that part.
He's teaching Madison to talk.
Make America great again.
People say Ron's all Trump, but he is so much more.
Big league. So good.
I just thought you should know.
First of all, I didn't think it was possible to film something with your kids and still be the worst actor in it. But here we are. That's the face of a kid saying, "Can the director step in?" Second, did you not want to get a second take where he's pointing at the words he's teaching his daughter?
Make America great again.
The word is again. Can anyone spell it for us? Madison? Yeah, one giant U. DeSantis is so desperate to profess his undying loyalty to and adoration for Trump that he made his own kids appear in a video about how much he loved Trump. Fast forward to 2023, and Trump has been relentlessly pummeling DeSantis for having the temerity to run against him for the GOP nomination. And Trump doesn't just clash with DeSantis on policy, Trump mocks his appearance. Just this weekend, at an event with New York Republicans, he made fun of the way DeSantis' head moves.
You know what I love? I love when they say, we really want to run against Donald Trump. That's the one we want. How did they do in 2016, by the way? We want Donald Trump. We don't want to run against Ron DeSanctimonious with his high heels and his bobblehead, you know. No, it looks like a bobblehead doll.
Oh, my God, I hope DeSantis' kids aren't still Trump fans. Clean up your room. You clean it up, bobblehead. Nice high heels, by the way. So Trump has relentlessly pounded DeSantis, and now DeSantis is way behind in Iowa, where a new poll shows Trump with 51% among Republican caucus goers compared to just 19% for DeSantis. And the GOP establishment seems to be going, once again, through all the same motions when it comes to Trump, even after everything Trump has done, from fomenting a violent coup attempt to stealing classified documents to telling Americans to inject bleach to cure COVID. Republicans are still writing off his most incendiary comments as jokes, like Trump's recent comment that he'll be a dictator in office, but only on day one.
I think it was a joke.
I think that's probably just fairly typical Trump rhetoric.
It's entertainment. And, we've been around him long enough. It's entertaining.
We all know
Trump uses unique expressions when he explains things.
Yeah, he uses unique expressions like hamburgers, chocker, tatump, and of course,
United States.
I really enjoy how funny they think it is when they tell you he's joking. Yeah, you know, he's just a funny guy, you know, he makes it. When I heard him say he'd be a dictator, I was like, ha ha ha. Let me just remind you guys of a truth we learned years ago. Trump is always joking until he's not. When Trump says something crazy and it backfires, he can claim it was a joke, but if his base likes it, then he goes with it. He's like a husband joking about the idea of a three-way with his wife. I mean, that would be so silly, right? I mean, like, who would we even ask? Like Kayla from the gym? That's nuts. To you guys, entertainment is an alleged criminal and aspiring tyrant who tried to destroy American democracy, claiming he'll be a dictator in his first day in office. To me, entertainment is that video of the catering cart spinning out of control on the runway at O'Hare until someone else comes in with another truck and takes it out.
Gonna hit the airplane, here it goes. That's how you do it.
You might think the hero is the other truck driver, but for my money, it's the guy who says, that's how you do it. Has a real welcome to the OC bitch vibe. I don't know what tarmac you come from, but this is O'Hare, bitch. The point is, Republicans are already back to the same shtick they perfected from 2016 to 2020, ignoring Trump's most unhinged remarks and writing them off as jokes. Even worse, some Republicans are still claiming, even now, that Trump will learn his lesson and change his rhetoric. Here's Kevin McCarthy, who briefly served as Speaker of the House in between bouts of humiliation and disgrace, claiming Trump will change his tone.
You praise Trump's policies. You say he's a good guy. But many Americans, they look at his language, they listen to his speeches, and they hear an authoritarian. Some say even a fascist on the horizon in this country. What do you say to those people who have those real concerns?
Look, I don't see that, and this is what I tell President Trump too. What President Trump needs to do in this campaign, it needs to be about rebuilding, restoring, renewing America. It can't be about revenge.
He's talking about retribution day in, day out.
He needs to stop that. He needs to stop that.
You think he's going to listen to you saying, stop that, stop that? He hasn't listened to anybody before.
That's not true. He will adapt when he gets all the facts.
Oh, you think Trump will adapt once he sees the fact? He can't even adapt to the weather. The guy can't close an umbrella. That's right, we're hitting all the classics today, baby. We held back for a while, but Trump's leading in the polls again, so I say let it rip, but only. But for real, Trump only ever adapts when it's in his own immediate interest, like in his New York fraud trial, for example. Trump was supposed to testify in court today, even though his lawyers warned him it would be a bad idea. He and his team kept insisting that he would be able to prove his innocence.
He still wants to take the stand, even though my advice is, at this point, you should never take the stand with a gag order. He will open himself up to whatever they want because he's not afraid. People that are afraid cower. President Trump doesn't cower.
That's right, Trump doesn't cower. He'll confront you face to face and look you straight in the eye, whether you're a judge or a governor or a solar eclipse. And that's our third Trump classic.
Trump classic. United States.
Nonetheless, you heard it right there. Trump does not cower. When he says he's going to testify, you can take that to the bank.
Donald Trump over the weekend saying he will not testify at his civil fraud trial in New York today. The surprise reversal comes after days of him vowing to take the stand in his own defense.
So he went from boldly declaring that he would not only testify but vindicate himself to suddenly slinking away and saying, never mind. It's better if I don't talk. This guy changed positions more than a
bobblehead doll.
This has been a closer look. Hey, a quick message for our Canadian viewers. This is very exciting news. Our videos were not available on YouTube for the last few months. They are now back on YouTube. And we also want to say thanks to CTV, who is airing our shows in their entirety on their network. Check them out there as well. Thank you, Canada. Good luck with everything.